All right. Let's hope we're on the right channel here. If you guys can hear me, jump in chat. Let me know. All right. What up, bro? Hey, the chat box is working there too, it looks like. Cool. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Got some interesting stuff to talk about today. Unfortunately, my Karma video isn't ready for right after the stream. I have to do some more editing on it, so it'll be up a little bit later. But between me ending this and then heading over to I'm getting my first dose of the vaccine today. Nice art. I need to find the artist to this. So they had an art contest for Escape from Tarkov, and someone made this because I remember seeing it as a submission. Same thing from my desktop background, which is like the actual. It was the second to last Twitch logo, but they put like the NVGs down and it looks super badass. But I can't find the name of the artist. I just found it on Google. So I'd like to be able to give that guy or girl credit, but I don't know who it was. It's just up there as an image on Google. So if anyone knows who that is, or if anyone knows where I can find who that is, I'd like to give him credit. I'll put him in the little bottom left or something. Breach of TOS? I hope not. What's up? Love the videos, brother. Thank you. All right, so today's video is going to be about Scav Karma, because we got a bunch of updates on how that is going to work, and need to make sure that people understand that PMC Karma is not coming with Scav Karma. I have a massive glare. Ugh, can't even see my monitor. Although I'm not playing, so it's not that big of a deal. Right, so Scav Karma. We gotta make sure that people don't misunderstand that PMC Karma is not coming with Scav Karma, and yeah, it's gonna be coming a little bit later. But today I wanted to talk about, I guess the right word would be expectations that people have for new features that are coming up, because I talked about VoIP yesterday when I was on the Twitch stream, and people are like, "There's no fucking way it's gonna work. There's no way it's gonna work without VoIP." Or sorry, there's no way that Karma is going to work without VoIP. And then I explained like what the current thoughts with VoIP are and stuff like that, and it just kind of went all over the place. So basically, it's like how to like curb your expectations around how we are supposed to go at playing and realistically testing these new features as they come in, because there's a lot of negativity that comes with the initial releases of some of these features, and some of these we need to really make sure we get right, and VoIP is probably at the top of that list, because you can get a lot of a-holes running around playing music or playing whatever the hell they might want to play through their microphones, and it's gonna do a lot to the experience in Escape from Tarkov. So we need to make sure we get our feedback kind of correct with that, namely with one of the things that they said that they might end up doing, and this is just based off of what I've gathered over the years of following the game. I don't have any news or anything for VoIP, but what might end up happening is it might end up being radios. So if you have a radio on you and whoever you want to talk to has a radio on them, then you can communicate. But if the person on the other end doesn't have a radio, then you won't be able to communicate with them. That is issue number one there. What if they don't have a radio? That kind of takes it away. Or that kind of takes away from the process. And then also, how do you communicate with scavs? And to be honest, I don't know. But that's how they've explained it before. What I think is going to happen is I think they're just going to open up the floodgates. They're just going to let everyone talk to everyone. But with the radios integrated into that somehow. Because they've been talking a lot about searching frequencies and finding other players based on that frequency. And if anybody here has ever used a just a radio, a regular hand radio or whatever, in real life, you'll know that there's like crackling through it, and you can hear if the person's too far away, or the closer they are, the better it sounds, basically, depending on the kind of radio you're using. Could differ. And they want to base that off of that. So you could go through the frequencies and you can hear other people talking on their radios and then figure out how close you are to them based off of how clear the signal is. So if you hear somebody super clear and it's like, yeah, let's head over to new constructions. We're on customs right now, and they want to head over to new construction, and you hear that, and it sounds like it's really sketchy. It's like you barely heard new construction. You know you're near customs, so you know they're probably going to head over to new construction. Then as you get closer, you hear them talk about maybe they get into a firefight or something, and you hear them start talking more clearly, and you know that they're a bit closer. And that sounds fucking awesome. That sounds amazing to be able to track people down like that, especially when the game is in open world, because it's going to make it a lot easier to find people when we have such a bigger map. And that's the kind of thing that we got to realize they're thinking of. So Battlestate has a lot of really cool ideas. Some of them hit first try, some of them don't hit first try. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of iteration, but we got to make sure we check ourselves with like negativity and whatnot when it comes to this stuff. And I mentioned this recently in, I forget what video, but I talked about my opinions on like what's going on with Escape from Tarkov and how they didn't do a vertical slice with it, and how they're doing like a rolling feature, like a rolling feature release with it. And this is going to be the kind of like the hard kind of jagged edge kind of stuff that's going to be a little bit of a problem for some people, because we're going to get that first iteration of Scav Karma without VoIP. It's going to be real difficult. People are going to be annoyed with it. It's not going to like work perfectly the first iteration, because you're not going to be able to communicate correctly. People are going to really start to pick up and understand like how to use the in-game emotes and stuff like that. And that might be part of BSG's plan. It might not be. It's either way. I think it's good to have Scav Karma in, and then we're going to see how it ends up acting, because there's going to be a lot of back end stuff that comes with it. And a lot of balance for sure. So like if you kill a friendly scav, how much bad karma is that going to give you? If you don't kill any friendly scavs, and if you don't kill anything and you get out of the raid, how much positive karma is that going to get you? So it's going to be a lot of balance that goes behind that, and that's going to be the video that's going up later today. And that's kind of the topic that I wanted to put up today. It's really just at the beginning of this little, Good Morning Tarkov thing, is really pay attention to how you're wording your feedback, and keep in mind that the way that BSG are doing things, there's more to come. There's going to be balance to it. There's going to be extra features that add to anything new that they add to the game. So just keep that in mind whenever you're giving your feedback, because there is a shit ton of negativity, and I'm just tired of it these days. So that's all I wanted to point out. Just keep that in mind. There's a lot of cool features coming, and this stuff takes time. So anyway, how's everyone doing? Let's check in with the chat. Because if you are watching this one, it's the VOD. I'm doing this live. I got chat open. Let's check through here. What up? Yeah, a lot of people say scab. Is that like a joke? Because it's supposed to be scav. Like scav, like with V, like in vegetable. It's supposed to be scav, like scavenger, but, shorter. But I hear a lot of people say scab. Good morning. What's up, Colin? Good morning. What's up, Jan? Just use Discord. No, people use Discord all the time, but it takes away from kind of like the WP is saying just use Discord here. It's not the same, because it's interacting with other people. So if you're in a Discord with a couple of your buddies in your squad, sure, you're going to be able to communicate just fine there, but it does, when that guy's on the other side of interchange, like let's say you guys split up to like Pince or somebody or something, when he's on the other side of interchange, you shouldn't be able to hear him that clearly. Like that's kind of like a realism thing that's going to go into it. And sure, that's still going to be a possibility. Like you can go on Discord and hang out with your buddies when VoIP is eventually in the game. That's obviously going to happen all the time. But interacting with other people, that never happens. Unless you really know your emotes, and then someone actually complies with the emotes and the voice emotes and everything like that. That's very rare. At best, that is very, very rare. But with VoIP, they're hoping that with VoIP in combination with Karma, you realize that somebody is a bear. You're a bear. You can't kill them without getting negative karma onto your account. So, and then again, that comes into the balance. Like, how much negative karma are you going to get for killing that person? And then it's more of a decision that you have to make. It's not purely just, shoot on sight, which is not exactly what they want. If you really want to shoot on sight, you can. And again, that's where the balance comes in, because we want to see what that does. But realistically speaking, you're not going to shoot absolutely everything on sight. You're going to see them. If they start shooting at you, or maybe you get ambushed, sure, shoot back. You know, defend yourself, survive that raid, you know, anything like that. So, you know, shoot back and then, you know, continue with the raid if you end up surviving that. But if you see them first, you know, if you're a bear, you see that they're a bear. All right, let's see if we can communicate with them and see what's up. Or you're a bear, you see they're a bear. Oh, he's got an RSAS on his back. Yeah. How good have I been lately? Where's my karma at, you think? Yeah, maybe I kind of like that RSAS. I like to look at that RSAS. Let me get that. And you end up killing him anyway. Like, that's what's going to end up happening. Or you're a USEC and you see a bear and then you figure out your ambush. Or you're a USEC and you see a scav and you just immediately shoot him in the leg and then laugh and then put him out of his misery, or whatever you guys end up doing to your scavs. It's that's like the process to it. It's not necessarily just you hear a twig move and then you throw 3 grenades and then you go see if you kill them or not, and then you get into a firefight like it is today. It's, you know, there's actually like thought process to it. Sounds cool, but how many people aren't gonna be in Discord? That's the thing with the Discord thing again. This is when you're with your buddies, sure, be in Discord, communicate with them, do all that good stuff. You're good to go there. But it's for other people. Those people that you're shooting at, those people that it's going to be in cooperation with the karma system. So we really got to see what happens with karma. If it ends up if you're a bear and you end up killing a bear, or if you're a USEC and you end up killing a USEC, or more recently where we're going to have scav karma first. If you're a scav and you kill another scav, what is that going to do? VoIP will be 100% necessary for scav karma and communicating. VoIP will be very, very, very useful for both sides of the karma coin, which is the scav and the PMC, especially for the PMC. But it's not actually 100% necessary, because we have the in-game emote, which we're gonna see in a few weeks here how nervous BSG might get without VoIP and be like, okay, shit, nobody is paying attention to this karma system because they're not able to communicate. So I think that's kind of why I wanted to talk about negativity today, because I see that coming with the first iteration of scav karma here. We're not going to have VoIP. It's going to be a complete shit show. Like, no one is going to communicate. No one's going to pay attention. Everyone's going to have bad karma. People are going to try to be nice, and they're not going to understand. There's going to be people that don't even know that scav karma came with the patch, and they're still going to shoot on sight. Like, it's going to be bad. So I'm trying to get ahead of it a little bit and keep everyone on the level with, like, what's about to happen when they add scav karma without VoIP. Hell, maybe they'll surprise us and they'll have VoIP. Hopefully. We'll see. What will be the karma? I got a video coming up later today that's going to be the update to how karma is going to work, but I did already make a Changing Point Tarkov video about karma, if you want to check that out, Matt. Scav communicating in Russian with the PMC is impossible. There's broken English. They're going to do broken English emotes. But it's not in right now, so if that's what you mean right now, yeah. But it could be, like, I guess they're assuming, like, you do the wiggle or whatever. I don't know. It's like I said, it's going to be a shit show. It is going to be bad. Unless they surprise us with VoIP. I'm going to butcher this name, even though it's just one letter that I'm having trouble with here. Majon? Howdy. Imagine not memorizing every single Russian skill. Well, memorizing and knowing what it says is another thing. Do you think that VoIP for scavs will ruin it? No, because it's part of karma. It's part of the game. So another thing here too, guys, is scavs are supposed to work together. Scav gangs, like what Clean does all the time, or I know more people are doing it, but originally, like, Clean started doing that all the time back in the day. That is supposed to be what you're doing. PMCs are not necessarily supposed to have such a difficult time surviving raids because of other PMCs. They're supposed to have a difficult time surviving raids because there's the civilian population that wants to cut their throat and take their stuff. That's the scavs. That's the scav bosses. That's anything else that might be standing in their way, aka cultists, stuff like that. So that is like, at least that's what BSG had in mind for Tarkov. So scavs, if anything, scavs are supposed to be working together more than anybody else. Because theoretically the PMCs were abandoned, so they're kind of on their own a little bit unless you're with your squad. At least that's the lore behind it. Where if you are a bear and you see another bear, then sure, maybe that guy's friendly. Like, all right, let's team up a little bit. And even potentially it's PMC. If you're a bear and you see a USEC, you're both there just to make some money. You don't necessarily completely hate each other. Although for bear to USEC, maybe that might be the case because the USEC are the quote-unquote like bad guys with terror group and all that. But you're supposed to be able to, like, you know, it's supposed to play out like we saw in the Raid series. You know, spoiler, if you guys haven't seen the Raid series, they end up working together. And then Scav, meanwhile with Scavs, you're already kind of hopeless as it is, and you're already with a bunch of your, I don't know, could even be lore-wise, your buddies or whatever, and you're like, let's go get that Glock. Last time I saw a Glock was in the movies, and let's go get the good stuff and stuff. Yeah. What is your ETA on 12.11? It should be about a month. I know we are 3 weeks. We're only like 2 or 3 weeks away from 12.10. So another 2 or 3 weeks. We hopefully will see if they end up doing the 12.10.x, which is the Unity 19 build. We should be seeing that either this week or next week, and then hopefully, unless they pushed it into 12.11, because they haven't been super clear about that. At least in the last couple weeks, they haven't been super clear about that. We were supposed to be getting 12.10.x with, we were supposed to be getting Unity 19 with a 12.10.x patch, aka before 12.11. But now it ends up looking like we might get 12.11 just with the Unity 19 and Scav Karma and the factory expansion and the new guns, like the Scar and the Mark 47. And I'll say this once here, guys, and I said this yesterday too, but I ended up saying it like 50 times because that's what everyone wants to know. I did not get this from BSG. I did not get this from Nikita. This is purely just me based off of the information that I have following the game as closely as I do. I think 12.11 will be a wipe. If it ends up not being a wipe, don't yell at Nikita, don't yell at BSG, yell at me. But based off of, you know, what I've been following personally, I think 12.11 is going to be a wipe. When is that going to happen? In the next month, we should see 12.11. We should be seeing it. If they kept to like a normal schedule, then it would be, you know, 2 or 3 weeks. So a month, could be sooner, could be later. Give it a month. 12.11. No, it's not a wipe. What do you mean? No, it's not a wipe. Soft Pepe. Will you have a face reveal? I don't really need to, but I just, well, hold on, what? Oh, yeah, okay, so anyway, you started talking more there. So, all right, so the Kappa thing, for some reason, that is what the emote goes to. Wipe is definitely needed, though. Yeah, that's why I say that, because the timing's right, the content is right, and, yeah, so it just makes sense. So that's why I'm saying I think 12.11 is going to be a wipe. But recently they haven't been given dates for stuff like that. Alexandro, thanks. Appreciate it. Everyone talks about OnlyFans. Only scabs. What's coming with 12.10.x was supposed to just be the Unity 19 build and maybe some fixes here and there. But we haven't heard anything about it. So unless they drop it this week, I think maybe what they did was they moved the Unity 19, blanking on the word. They moved the upgrade to Unity 19 into 12.11. So that might be what ends up happening. Favorite gun? Favorite gun right now is probably... It's the M4, but it's not the way that you think. So if you go over to Twitch, you see my most recent VOD. I like running my M4 that way. And I think I have a recent video where I talked about that. I like running my M4 so that it just looks cool. So it's got a, and people gave me so much shit yesterday when I was on Twitch about this. I was back on Twitch yesterday, and I plan on going back later today too. So if you guys are interested in seeing this gun in action, you'll see it later today as well. But I put a PLAD on it, and most of the time I run 20 round mags, but this time I was running 30 round mags. And I put a suppressor on there, and it's longer, and pretty much none of it is actually like meta. But if you go and you check the VODs, like, I was killing 3-man groups. I was killing 2-man groups. Like, I was fucking people up with it. So it's based, a lot of it comes down to, like, how you use your equipment against other people. It's not necessarily your equipment. It's how you use it. That kind of thing. Yeah. Ethics over meta. Yeah, I go for looks. I really like the look of that M4. Do you think the Unity 19 could fix lag? Okay, so it doesn't have a whole lot. There are some back end and there are some network things that come along with the Unity 19 upgrade, but it is mostly graphics wise. So what you're gonna see, in the upgrade is frames. You'll get a boost of frames theoretically if they do it correctly. I actually have a video specifically on what Unity 19. I interviewed a couple of my buddies who are they work with that specifically in the game industry, and they gave me some feedback on why Unity 19 will be good. Now that's like a year old, but if you go and check out, if you go to like my main YouTube page, oh, I meant to put this up. Sorry, boys. I meant to have this on the background. We got a ton of screenshots of streets that I wanted to run in the background there. But we've had enough to talk about anyway, so. Yeah, I made a video specifically about Unity 19 and what it's going to bring in from experts. So, if you go to the front page of my YouTube channel and you search in the search bar there, Unity 19, it should be the first thing that pops up. Yeah, more fixed. Stashes are pretty nuts. Getting a lot of cool stuff from stashes. If you guys are looking for money, the stash runs are really good right now. I wish Mark 18 Black 2? You mean like the 5.56? You mean like the Daniel Defense Mark 18? We don't have a specific date for 12 point. I really gotta figure out if I can get some commands going for this chat. We don't have a specific date for 12.11, so if this doesn't end up happening, don't yell at BSG, don't yell at Nikita, yell at me. My guess for 12.11 is about a month. Could be sooner, could be later. About a month, we should be seeing 12.11. Don't yell at BSG, don't yell at Nikita, yell at me if that doesn't end up happening. You guys don't need to see my face. I don't know what's up with the face reveal. I'm not good looking enough for you guys to see my face. You guys, it doesn't add anything. Trust me. In fact, I'll probably lose subscribers. What's up, guys? What's up, Rafat? Hey, don't be spamming, Rafat. Rafat. I said hi. Don't need the face reveal. If I see that 2 more times, I'm gonna time you out, bub. Really think 12.11 so soon? I mean, it's already been some time. Hey, Mark. It's not. Don't worry about it, Calvin. They're probably just messing around. It's not a big deal. I didn't ban him. I didn't ban that guy. I think he heard me. There's a little bit of a delay, so don't fucking spam, guys. Just don't spam. Yeah, the Daniel Defense Mark 18. I mean, it's kind of already possible to be made, right? Because you can do that handguard. I know it's not the exact same thing, but there's going to be a lot of guns that fit into that category where it's not like named that gun, but if you get the parts right, it's might as well be that gun kind of a thing. We're not supposed to get arena. Mr. King Glenn, we're not supposed to get arena before streets. It's just supposed to be this year. Theoretically, we're supposed to get streets before arena. But the factory expansion is like that's like soon TM. That's supposed to be with 12.11. And Lighthouse, theoretically, before streets. So that list should go factory expansion, Lighthouse, streets, arena. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. Again, with the new update, guys, don't yell at BSG, don't yell at Nikita, yell at me if this doesn't end up happening. I'm going to give it about a month. My ETA on streets doesn't really count anymore because we thought that it was going to be coming a lot sooner. We thought it was because they've been working on that thing for years, literally, because they ended up working on a bunch of it and then they couldn't get the frames right, so they ended up scrapping it all and then redoing it. It's looking like this is the real go. It's looking like with all the recent new devs on the team because they're over 100 people. I think they're over 130 people right now. They've increased the size of their studio quite significantly, and seeing that everything that we're seeing with Streets, I think it's tricky, but I think we'll see it by this summer. I'm hoping that we'll see it by this summer. And Nikita has said several times that they want it to be done this year. But something like Streets, they got to make sure they do right. They got to make sure they do it right. Play USEC microwave. The alerts should be. I hope they're working because I don't think I missed anything. I forget which one's the USEC microwave. I think it's Super Chat. Is it Super Chat? This is just a test.
USEC microwave.
USEC microwave.
This is a test Super Chat alert for $97.
Thank you, Brian. Actually, I gotta put this up here. There it is.
USEC microwave. USEC microwave. USEC microwave.
This is a test Super Chat alert for $22.
USEC microwave. I hope Unity 19 can fix the fog. That is actually something that comes with Unity 19. Yeah, we'll see what happens with fog with that. Hired Ops reminds me of Arena, to be honest. Well, you mean Arena should remind you of Hired Ops. It's gonna be very similar, yeah, but just Tarkov. Next wipe. Don't yell at Nikita. Don't yell at BSG for this because this is what my thoughts are. I think 12.11 is gonna be a wipe, but that's just me. Shoreline expansion and rework would be the best thing. Okay, so the Shoreline expansion, I don't think is really a thing anymore because when Shoreline expansion was actually like a thing, when people were saying Shoreline expansion, we were thinking of Terminal. We were thinking that we were going to move into Terminal there over in the corner, like what we saw with the last episode of Raid there. But Terminal is its own map. So I don't know exactly where they would expand Shoreline 2. Especially since they already did expand it. Before, I forget how long ago this was. But that whole spawn that you get up in the northeast corner, that then you can like cross that hilly area and then you go towards the resort there. That didn't used to be a thing. It used to be much closer than that. And then also, I think, was there somewhere else? No, I think it was just that. But they fixed that up a bit. More shores. And then it goes into Lighthouse on one side. It goes to Customs on the other. So, yeah. Good morning, Teriyaki. Thanks for the updates. Love from Australia. Love from the United States, bub. How will I know that the guy who's saying that a bear USEC isn't lying? You don't. You absolutely don't. That's still a thing. Streets hits with 12.11 or later. Way later. Artruov. Sorry if I butchered your name there. Way later. It's supposed to be 13. Patch 13 is Streets, guys. Patch 13 is Streets, not 12.11. 12.11 is the factory expansion. And the Scars and the Mark 47 and Scav Karma. They could add more into tunnel, like an underground section for service tunnels. Yeah, they could a little bit, but that's heading over towards Lighthouse. Lighthouse is like right on the other side of that little ridge line there. Watching from Finland. What's up, Noah? Or no, however you say that. Greetings from Sweden. Greetings from the United States. Will Bear USEC get different quests? Yes. Can you heal between raids? Because it's like lore-based. Can you heal between raids when RPG hits? Of course. Between raids, yeah. Once that's in the game. Lighthouse 12-12. Lighthouse wouldn't be 12-12. It'd probably be like 12-18 or something like that. Because it would go like, you know, we're waiting on 12-11. So we're saying 12-12, 12-13, 12-14, 12-15. And it could really go, theoretically, it could go as long as they want with that because they could just keep adding numbers. But patch 13 is Streets. So do with that information what you will. So 12.11 is the factory expansion. Patch 13 is Streets. Between 12.11 and 13, they're trying to get Lighthouse out. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep up the good job. Appreciate it, Rybson. Ribson. Wouldn't the recent 3 months per patch put 12.11 around June? That's not the recent 3 months per patch thing is not their goal though. But I see what you're saying. That's not their goal. If anything, it's because they're having problems. And that's just me. That's not from inside BSG or anything. That's not from Nikita. He actually said recently that they want to do content updates every month. And where they're considering the first number there, like 12, as a major release. The 12.0 was a major release. 13.0 is going to be a major release because it's going to be coming with streets and whatnot. But the content releases, aka 12.10, 12.11, 12.12, that's theoretically supposed to be the month-to-month stuff. So yesterday I asked you about Ergo Bug, be loading array without a mag. Yeah, someone was talking about that in the Twitch chat yesterday. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I haven't tried it myself, and I'll look into it. I'm sure BSG already knows it, but there's a few different places I can go to make sure they know about it. But I'm sure they already know about it. Do you think desync is worse currently? It goes up and down, Bob. It goes up and down because what happens is BSG will put out a patch, and then as they continue to hotfix stuff, and they'll release that initial patch as best as they can. They'll work on that stuff as best as they can, which they're constantly working on that stuff. But they know it's going to change the next time they hotfix it, and then it'll get worse and worse and worse until it comes to the next patch. So we'll see what happens with 12.11. How do you think the new hitboxes will affect CQB tactics? I think it's going to turn the game upside down. With the if you're talking about the armor hitboxes, the armor plate hitboxes, it's going to turn the game upside down because every gun is going to be way, way, way more viable, and the top tier guns that we're seeing everybody use right now is going to be even less viable. Or sorry, not even less, but less viable because of their cost to run them. Amdrew, love you too. Arena is separate to Tarkov. Nikita said this. Yes, it is. It's a separate game. I have a video specifically on Arena if you want to check that out, Moram. They're going to be linked in some ways, but it is, quote-unquote, a separate game because of how the back end's going to work and the networking and stuff. Will EOD get Arena mode? We don't know yet. If anything, EOD is going to be the only one that gets Arena mode. And that's because of what I was just mentioning there. I had a video where I specifically explained this. They're treating Arena mode as its own game. So that's why we need to try and get into the habit of calling it Escape from Tarkov Arena. It's not going to be necessarily a mode. It's going to be like its own game because of all the back end that they're putting into it. It's going to be the structure of Escape from Tarkov in terms of everything that we see, like the movement and the gameplay and stuff like that. But the back end, it's not an open world game anymore. An open world game calls for much, much more than what a competitive little close-in CQB game like, a Counter-Strike would be asking for or looking for. So the back end is going to be made much, much differently. The networking is going to be made much, much differently. And the way that they've put this is that, everyone probably thinks this. There's lots of other shooters that you would play, and you would think that, or you would compare it in some way to Escape from Tarkov. I wish that this played more like Escape from Tarkov, or I wish that this setup was a bit more like Escape from Tarkov, or if only Escape from Tarkov had this. And that's what they want Arena to be. They want Arena to fill in that blank. So they want the best servers. They want, quote unquote, esports ready, experience, but Escape from Tarkov. That's what Arena is supposed to be. And it's not confirmed yet whether or not EOD will get it yet because of the extra work that's going to go behind it. And if that makes you guys not want to play it, then don't play it. Make sure your voice is heard. Because if enough people don't buy it, maybe they'll change something about it. But understanding both sides of the argument there, I know that it makes sense for them to make it cost more. And if you don't want it, you don't need it either. You don't actually need it. You can continue to play Escape from Tarkov the way that we're playing today. Especially if you guys aren't big like PvPers, you really don't need it. Arena is going to be the same engine, but it's going to be made very differently. It's hard to explain. No update on Inertia yet. See, Klingman, it's as long as it's EOD included. We actually don't know that. We actually don't know that because of the amount of work that's going into it. I made a video specifically on that where I went on for like 4 minutes explaining it. And if it's not, so that sounds bad to you, go check out that video. I explained it there. And if it still sounds bad, don't buy it. Make sure your voice is heard with your money there. Unity 19, we don't have an update yet. Recap of 12.11. Recap that hasn't even come out yet. You mean like update on 12.11? We're still waiting to hear about 12.11. Period. $150 USD. It better be included. Yeah, I get it. So we'll see if it ends up being included in EOD, but very real chance that it doesn't. That's all I can say. And all I can say is, like, if that pisses you guys off, or if that annoys you or whatever, speak your mind with your money. They'll hear that. Dragging Bodies, no update yet, but that's planned. If Inertia is planned, Inertia is not planned for 12.11 as far as I can tell. I know that they wanted to move it to the ETS, but I can't give any updates on that. I'm not sure what's going on with that. They're going to be making less DLC because of Arena. No, they're not. Stribs, that's not right. All the other DLC is still planned. They're changing what Arena is going to be. Arena is going to be its own separate thing. The DLC, like the weather, the scav life, and skyscrapers are the other ones that we've heard about so far. That's all still coming. Not to mention there could be weapons packs and stuff like that too. Oh, why didn't that play? The super chat. Bobby.
USEC microwave.
This is a test super chat alert for $86.
That sucks. It didn't work. I'm sorry, Bobby. It didn't give me the alert, but I'll read you here. You make the best videos when it comes to news in Tarkov. Thank you for all the hard work.
You make the best videos when it comes to news in Tarkov. Thank you for all the hard work. Do you think they'll ever make safe container bring into raid only? Can't put anything inside once in raid?
Appreciate it, Bobby. Thanks for the 10. They're going to be testing that. I highly doubt that that's going to be a thing. Because they're constantly iterating on that. But the main reason behind that is because hundreds of thousands of people have bought these game packages with the expectation of whatever that secure container might be from alpha to gamma, that they're going to be able to use it that way. They're going to be able, they paid for that container to work that way. Hell, when I bought the game, you could still put guns in that bitch. You could still hide guns in there. And people were still obviously freaking out once they made it so you can't put guns, and then you couldn't put rigs and all that stuff. So I could totally see them iterating on it more. They've already made it so that I know there's some bugs here and there that start popping up with this, but they don't want thermals to be able to be put in there. They don't want NVGs to be able to put in there. I don't think there is a future where we won't be able to put anything whatsoever in there, but I do think they're going to continue to iterate on it. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up with that later. Thanks again, Bobby. Inertia Colin is like, it's hard to explain, but it's how your character moves. It's a certain sway. So the AD-80 spam when you see someone escape from Tarkov these days, especially when their strength and endurance is so high, where they're just quickly snapping around a corner, but it's their full body. It's not them like leaning. That's what Inertia is supposed to fix. It's supposed to be more of a general like sway of them coming around the corner. And people don't like that in Escape from Tarkov, so they're going to iterate on that and see if they can fix that. You can fit an MP5 with a mount for a thermal in the Gamma. Yeah. They don't want that to happen. Also, it wouldn't be the MP5. It's the actual MP5 you can put in your Gamma, because they don't want guns in there either. So if that's happening, that's a bug, and I'm sure they're trying to figure out a way to fix it. Mag boxes, yeah. Sebastian, I've been here since the beginning, man. I remember. It's been a while. I'm wanting to get into game development, and I was wondering what I should be doing. I'm taking computer science, but is there other places I should be looking? Rustiest one. That is a very open question. So it depends on what you specifically want to do, and you need to be very careful because the whole like industry behind getting people into the game industry, even, and I mean like colleges, I mean like classes and stuff like that. It's almost on the level of like scammy. I've been through it. You need to see the right people. You need to that's tough. So if you are actually serious about getting into it, Rustiest One, jump on my Discord and DM me, and I'll talk to you further about that. Because depending on where you are in the world, and if you're in the United States, if you are in the United States, I can actually help you out with that. But if you're just looking for, just off the top of my head kind of stuff, computer science isn't necessarily exactly where you want to go. You want to make sure you're looking into, if you're going into arts, you need to make sure you're looking into the right programs for arts. If you're looking into, if you want to code because you want something like maybe you want to get into something or you want something possibly more stable, then you got to look into what language specifically are you going to be learning and how is it going to be used. And if you want to use that in games, what engines use what. If specifically you want to get into games and you want to get into coding, not a bad place to start would be pick up Unreal Engine and start messing around with the blueprints for sure. Pick up Unreal and start messing around with blueprints because blueprints are going to be pretty easy to understand. Hell, I can do blueprints. So start messing around with that, and if you can show off some cool stuff using blueprints, I'm sure you'll get there in no time. But it's very difficult because it's very competitive, and there's a lot behind it. So best of luck. And like I said, if you do want help, jump on my Discord and DM me. I'll help you out. Will Scar H I don't know, you butchered that one, Simone. I'm not sure. Will Scar H AFAL be more? I'm assuming you mean. I'm gonna fill this in here for you. Do you mean Scar H and FAL will be more moddable? FAL maybe not. I don't think they're going to be adding too much onto that, but the Scar H definitely will be. Nikita has specifically said that they want a bunch of mods for the Scars. What about lockpicking? Still soon TM. No updates specifically. You still can with mag boxes. You can still put a mag box. No, you can't. You can still put a mag box.
Microwave.
Hey, that worked out.
I hate the AD spam, but at the same time, it feels like if I stand still, I get shellacked.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's the gray area. Anthony, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. That is definitely the gray area. That's the gray area with Escape from Tarkov because personally, I like where the movement is, but that's just me. I know that there's a lot of people that are against it. Thanks for the 5. Yeah, well, I know you're not alone in feeling that. So, what do you mean by TM? That's like the meme. It's like the trademark. Soon TM. That's like we don't have a date. It's just soon. that's the thing. Like would it be too much if they added in the stoppage of reloading animation when you're getting shot? I know that is super annoying, and I don't know anything about that. I don't know if they're gonna do that. There's a lot of animations that are gonna go behind that, Steve. So we'll see if they end up doing that. And I'm definitely on that train because it gets real bad sometimes. Just really, really, really pay attention to when you're reloading. I died like that yesterday. I accidentally hit reload when I meant to switch to my sidearm, and I ended up getting killed by a scab. Yeah, Magbox can't go in Gamma. I'm not sure what that guy was talking about. Whoever was talking about Magbox in the Gamma, unless there's a bug. Soon TM, yeah, exactly. 80/80 spam is cancer. That's relative. They can slow it down a little bit, but that's that definitely goes into the as realistic as playable category, because in real life, if anyone's played paintball in here, I used to play, going into a weird tangent here, I used to play semi-professional paintball back in like high school and stuff, and this is I don't know, this is a long time ago, so I know a lot about paintball basically. But there's this thing called snapping, where I don't think people, I mean, maybe people do it in real world when they're like, I don't know, special forces or in the military or whatever, but you would just use your body to like lean out real quick and then come back in. And I feel like, if anything, if I was going to be in a close quarters gunfight like that, that's what I would need to do. And then you're immediately thinking, okay, so that's your lean. But it's super annoying to get the lean right and to do it quickly and whatnot. So the AD-80 spam is a substitute to not being able to move quick enough with that lean. And I think that's just me personally. My thought with that is like it's like the lesser of two evils. Basically, it's like you're still able to do what you want to be able to do in game. It just looks bad. That's the way I see it. My last marker was a LV1, Planet Eclipse LV1. We were sponsored by LV1, or we were sponsored by Planet Eclipse, so we got the good. We were sponsored by Planet Eclipse. Damn, I'm blanking on a bunch of the. It's been a while. Spire, whoever Spire is HK or is Exalt Spire? Whoever's the Spire. I know we had Spire, and then we had like we had a couple stores that were sponsoring us. Ego 7. I had an Ego 9. Let's stay on Let's stay on Tarkov though. We can talk about paintball some other time. Catch me on Twitch later if we want to talk about paintball. I can talk about paintball a lot, although I haven't played in like 8 years. Do I have any idea what inertia will look like? I do have an idea. Basically this, just slower. What you see right now, just slower. Lux? Yeah, I never used a Lux, but I know a lot of people that did. I feel like it still takes... okay. No more paintball. No more paintball, just Tarkov. We'll talk about paintball later. I feel like it still takes a long-ass time to kill anyone well armored, since 545 PS round flying from the barrel of an AKSU goes through an Alton. 545 PS does not go through an Alton. Isn't that level 5? I don't know what you mean there, Deadbread. That shouldn't go through an Alton. If they remove AD-AD, they could add the thing where you are close to a wall and aim lets you... But then you deal with a bunch of bugs. That's going to be buggy as shit. Trust me, man. I think this is the lesser of the lesser of two evils here with the movement that we have right now. Have I ever gotten a DUI? That's a weird question. No. I don't fuck around with that. Don't drink and drive, guys. Maybe you mean 762? For what? 762. Maybe you mean 762. Even then, 762 PS can't go through Alton. That's level 5. Maybe he means 995 at this rate. Maybe he means 556. He could mean anything. All I know is that 545 PS does not go through an Alton. So, IRL Alton is level 3. That's one of the as realistic as playable things. That's one of those as realistic as playable things. Because if all the helmets in the game acted how they actually acted in real life, then nobody would use helmets because they'd be like practically worthless. Oh, he's talking IRL? IRL, I mean, oh, I just caught that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that like I just said, that is one. They've spoken about that several times already. The helmets in game are unrealistic because that is nobody would use them otherwise. So that is one of those as realistic as playable things. BS instead of PS, maybe. Well, we just heard from that. He means IRL. So yeah, that's one of those as realistic as playable things. Otherwise, nobody would run helmets whatsoever. IRL helmets are for shrapnel mostly, yeah. Bastion is good IRL, so then everyone would only use the Bastion and then nothing else, and they don't want that. So yeah. Playing video games for 25 years now, and I can say Tarkov is the best game I've ever played. People trolling me because of that. You should have seen my friends who all love Escape from Tarkov over the past 5 years. I was the only person in my friend group that was advocating for us to play Escape from Tarkov for years. I was the Escape from Tarkov guy of the group, and no one ever played with me. I was just playing by myself, constantly solo. There was like maybe 1,000 people played the game for years, and I'm sitting there at work having Deadly Slob or Clean or Ghost on my second monitor, constantly loving the game, and nobody ever played Escape from Tarkov with me. And then once Drops came by, it was like, oh shit, Shroud's playing, what's this game? Escape from Tarkov? What's Shroud playing today? Oh, what's Summit playing today? Oh, what's this Escape from Tarkov? This game's badass. I wish someone had told me about this. Yeah, I did in 2017, you fuckwads. That was me. That was me telling all my friends to play. Yeah. Anyway. Why is there so many bad ammos in Tarkov? Because of armor hitboxes. Check out Changing Point armor hitboxes. They're all going to have their place in the endgame. If shrapnel was a thing in Tarkov, it is a thing. Shrapnel is absolutely a thing in Tarkov. And helmets help with that. I've eaten point-blank grenades because of helmets. There's actually a lot of issues that come from grenades and fragmentation in Escape from Tarkov because they actually have physics for each little piece of shrapnel. So that's when you throw a grenade. That's why it's different every time you throw a grenade depending on where it is. It actually will shrapnel. There will be real shrapnel, and each one of them will have their own like damage, like I don't know, chart or whatever. Excuse me. Each little piece has its own physics. It's like a bullet. It's like a little bullet in game. Will they remove in-game raid time limit in the future? Yeah, with open world, and then it'll turn into an artificial time limit with your food and energy and stuff. Will there be good server connection at any time one day? I mean, depends on where you are in the world, Philip. Sorry if you're in the Middle East. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Middle East. They need to make the top ammo more rare. That's going to be like around launch. When it comes to the rarity of items these days, guys, the economy is not where it's going to be when the game launches because we are here to test things. So they still need to be accessible while still giving you a sense of how rare that item is going to be. Will EFT be like DayZ in the future? That's pretty open-ended question there, Dank. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but it's going to be open world. Someday. That's why you hear the shrapnel around you. Coolest effect here. Yeah. TLDR, every piece of shrapnel has its own ballistic qualities. Yes, exactly. When a grenade goes off far away, you can sometimes hear the shrapnel land. Exactly, yep. For German Tarkov players, it's almost unplayable. I can't speak to that. I know they're having server issues with providers and whatnot. And there's also like the network and stuff like that. I feel like grenades are a little overpowered. I feel like you should be able to survive with Zabralo and full head helmet, but I don't know. That could be an as realistic as playable thing. It could be a luck thing. Shrapnel is real, so like if you cover a grenade, if you fully like land on a grenade and it is actually both on the server and in what you're seeing on your game view, that you are sitting on that or you're laying down on that grenade, you can what's it called? I'm blanking on it. You can like sacrifice yourself in game if you want, and you'll block the shrapnel. I can't speak. You will block the shrapnel from your buddies. Like you can jump on a grenade. You can Captain America that shit if you want. Grenades are the thing with being overpowered. Everyone says this. Everyone says everything is overpowered at the end of a wipe because everyone has money. So at the beginning of a wipe, not everyone wants to go throwing 10,000 ruble dollar bills at their enemies, and then maybe it gets them, maybe it doesn't. Not to mention everyone can start stacking them up from all the raiders that you farm, because you can practically always find 2 or 3 on those guys. I like how he went to Captain America first. Well, I'm American, so yeah. Who else would go before that? Who else did that? Are nades synced enough to sacrifice like that? Yeah. I've done it. What do you mean everyone has money on Pro Cassell? Okay, most of the community that's been playing since the beginning of the wipe should have money. I feel like if you're wearing a 6v43 and an Alton, you should survive a grenade. Based off of how the medical system works right now, you're worried about your legs. So if you go prone and you're facing that grenade, you should be alright. But don't let it hit your legs. It's probably the legs that are eating that. Or if you put a grenade on the other side and you're wearing that armor and you put a grenade on the other side of like a little ledge and you're standing behind that ledge, you should then be fine. Too much money seems to be the problem. It's just the point of the wipe. The economy was a little screwed up from the beginning, especially once the Bitcoin boost happened. Armor doesn't affect grenade damage? Yes, it does. Well, if you have if you have two guys standing next to a grenade, right, and they're both the same distance from that grenade, one is wearing very good armor and one is wearing no armor, that grenade will still do the same damage to both people, but the guy wearing the armor will see less of it. And if the shrapnel goes equally across both of them. That's what I mean. Can't wait to heal teammates personally. Yep, that'll be cool. These are all the most recent photos of Streets, yep. And yes, the concussive force, right. New Scav Boss is just a little kid on top of the playground, by the way. Yeah. With a giant sledgehammer. I saw an interesting one up here. Where we go? Will gun durability be more intense in the next patch? Not the next patch, but eventually we're going to be getting more significant weapon malfunctions and overheating and stuff like that. When do you think that Streets of Tarkov is coming out? Well, it's going to be patch 13, and patch 13 is supposed to be later this year. We'll see. We should be getting another trailer for Streets sometime soon, or another tease, whatever you want to call it. Will the... okay, so I'm assuming what you mean here, Kabuli. Will there be a feature like reviving a teammate in the future? Depends on the wound, actually. Depends on what's going on. So they've said in the past, and if this is still the case, then this is how it'll end up happening. But if they've changed anything, then they haven't updated it recently, so I'm not sure. But, excuse me. What they've said in the past is that if you get shot in the head, there's nothing coming back from that. If you get shot in the heart, there's nothing coming back from that. If you get shot in a semi-vital organ or like an artery or something like that, and then you slowly start to bleed out, then there is things that you can do for that. Like, there's things that you can bring that person back. And then if they go into a state where they've gone unconscious, then there's like, you can talk about like epinephrine and adrenaline and defibrillator, and there's different stuff that you can do for that person, sure. But there's going to be things that you can do, and there's going to be things that you can't do. That's all we have right now. My personal thought, and I'll say this for the last time here, especially since we're hit the hour mark here, is with 12.11, I'd say about a month. And again here, if this does not end up happening, do not yell at Nikita, do not yell at BSG, yell at me. Because my personal thought is that 12.11 is going to be in about a month. It could be sooner, it could be later. And I, again, personally me, don't yell at Nikita, don't yell at BSG. If this doesn't end up happening, I personally think that 12.11 is going to be a wipe. So, we'll see. So, based on what I've gathered and what I think, wipe in about a month with 12.11. As long as you're playing in a team, I suppose, yeah. That'd be, actually, imagine the good karma you get if you come across somebody and you actually help them out of the raid if they're bleeding out. So around June? No, it wouldn't be around June. It'd be, actually, shit, yeah, it would be at this point, wouldn't it be? Yeah, maybe around June. Late May, early June, something like that. I do think that Streets will come this year. There's enough there. I think they'll be able to get Streets out this year. Thanks, Tyler. One month to wipe sounds right. Always right before I get to Kappa. Yeah, I'm sure it's like that for a lot of people. Yeah, the timing's right. The content's right. It just doesn't make sense for 12.11. I mean, I guess from a development standpoint, sure, there might be a lot of people that need, or sorry, there might be a lot more work that needs to be done, or there's some reason testing wise that they need this to be a thing. But 12.11 really should be a wipe, in my opinion. Is VoIP planned? Yes, VoIP is planned. VoIP is coming. Yes. 12.11 is not the armor rework, guys. 12.11 is the factory expansion with the Scav boss. The first iteration of Scav Karma, and we got a few new guns coming. We got the Scavs, we got the Scars, and the Mark 47, and then anything else that they tie in there. Maybe the USP, maybe a couple other things. Speed of Kappa, how do people get it within days of the wipe? That literally makes no sense to me. Well, the way that they do that is they know exactly where to go to get exactly what tasks done at the fastest pace. So Pestely's been doing his speed runs since like 2017. Because it's the same. It's been the same. You know exactly where to go at what time to get what thing to do a certain task, and you can just get it done. When do you think Arena? Last estimate on Arena was this year. All right, guys, we're gonna give this another like 30 seconds. So if you have a question, get it out now, and I'll see how many more I can grab before I head out. Because I only want to do this. I've only been these morning shows are only going to be for an hour-ish, and we're over the hour mark. So I gotta finish editing my Scav Karma video. It's gonna come out later today, and then I'm gonna go get my first dose of the vaccine, and then I'll be live on Twitch later today. Armor value for items in backpack, that's not gonna happen, I don't think. Maybe the backpack itself might have one, but I don't think about items in the back. I don't think that's gonna happen for items in the backpack. That sounds too difficult. When Lighthouse between factory and streets is the current expectation, or not the current plan. Current plan is Lighthouse between factory expansion in 12.11 and streets at some point later this year. Do you think people will abuse VIP? VIP? You mean VoIP? Family music, etc.? Absolutely. If they end up doing it where everyone gets VoIP, yes. Like, that's going to happen. We'll see how bad it ends up being, though. But Escape from Tarkov is different than most of the other games where you see VoIP, because if they're using VoIP that way, it's going to be much easier for you to find them and then kill them, and then you're not going to see them again. There's no more respawns. And there's only a set number of players in that raid, so how many of them are going to be spamming stuff like that? Any word on bipods and or weapon wall cover mounting? Bipods are coming. And along with that is going to be like, there's going to be like wall and cover mounting. Yeah. And that's coming with the light machine guns. So the RPD and the SAW. Very skeptical about VoIP. You are not alone. Nikita himself is terrified of VoIP, but he agrees that it needs to come to the game. We don't know about the outside area of factory, but we're expecting there to be an outside portion of factory, yes. Like what you saw in the first trailer. Are we going to see a major performance upgrade through Unity 19? I made a video specifically about Unity 19, so go check that one out. Go to the main front page for my channel and just type in Unity 19. It should be the first video that comes up. Date for 12.11, not a specific date. And this will be the last two here, guys. I'll finish it up here with this, since this is what everyone keeps asking about. All right, so for both of these answers here, if this is wrong, do not yell at BSG, do not yell at Nikita, yell at me, because this is based off of what I think. I think that patch 12.11 will be a wipe, and I also think that it's going to be in about a month. Could be a little bit sooner, could be a little bit later. So we're thinking like we're looking at like end of May, early June, something like that. 12.11, that's going to be the factory expansion. It's going to be the SCAR. It's going to be the Mark 47. It's going to be the first iteration of Scav Karma. And personally, I think it's going to be a wipe. So we'll see what happens with that. And with that, guys, I'm going to head out. So we are going to be on live later. I keep saying we. I'm going to finish up my my Scav Karma video. And that should be going live later today. Unfortunately, I didn't have it live right now. But in the future, when I have videos ready for the day, they're going to go live immediately after I am done live streaming the morning show, but it's not ready for today, unfortunately. So anyway, I'm gonna finish up editing that video, and I gotta go get my first dose of the vaccine later today, and then after that I'll be live on Twitch. So if you guys have more questions, you want to hang out some more, I'll be live on my Twitch channel later today. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for hanging out. You can catch me right here again tomorrow about the same time, 9 a.m. Eastern United States time. And usually do this for about an hour while I'm having my morning coffee and whatnot. So thanks for hanging out, guys. If you missed anything, you should also be able to rewind, and the VOD's going to go live on the channel later. So drop that. Oh, not the alert box. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. And a Vaxxer. Okay, don't be getting into that, guys. I have other reasons for getting it, so don't worry about it. All right, guys. Have a nice day. I'll see you.